So can I say we are the luckiest radio show hosts, man? And like real talk, man, the amount of people that come here weekly, man, is something special. People definitely show hell of a love, man, when it comes to these guests. They get excited about you guys. There are people that are watching from Ghana. You know what I mean? In real talk, man, that show love to this show. People love to watch, I guess you could say, the podcast if they don't catch it, live. And, just want to take some time out to show love to you and you who weekly check this show out and really, really get excited about the guests, man. And, man, saying that, man, 2 weeks in a row we didn't have a music producer, man. This is special, man. You know what I'm saying? And we can really delve into what they bring to the table. The last one we had last week, man, I didn't even recognize it. We was talking for about 30 minutes, and he was just like, man, I felt like I had some more to give. You know what I mean? And so we never know coming into these conversations what's going to come out, but we're always excited. And so this next guest, man, is truly excited about getting into it with him, as I am everybody else, because he's worked with some tremendously gifted people. He's gifted himself, man. I'm talking about my brother, man. He's in the building, man. Dave the King, man. Welcome to Fusion Radio, fam.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
No doubt, man. So let's get into, man, like some background information on you and just like, man, what inspired you, man, to really want to become a music producer?
Well, what inspired me was really Lex Luger. You know, I don't know if you guys remember that Ace Hood album, the one he did with, what's his name, DJ Khaled. And that was, that was his artist at the time, main artist. And Lex was like a big part of that with the Hustle Hard record. So he really inspired me because I have never heard beats like that at the time. So I started back in 2010, 2011. So when I heard those beats that he's producing back then, along with Juicy J and all that, I knew exactly what I wanted to do, Because at first I wanted to hoop, but, hoop dreams, they could be a little sketchy. So, that really inspired me to make beats, listen to Lex.
So you said you started making beats in 2010, right?
Yeah, 2010, yup.
Dang, so that's basically 13, 14 getting years in the game.
Don't put 20 on me, man. I ain't that old yet.
But no, like just even being in the game and just being around music for so long, like I know you done seen all type of stuff and been around all different type of artists. So like, what's some advice? First off, yeah, that's why I want to start off. What's some advice that you could give somebody that's out here that's just starting, as far as like in the music career?
Well, it was different from when I first started. When I first started, it was no YouTube. You know what I'm saying? It was, you had to learn on your own. Whatever you could pick up, FL Studio or whatever, some, MPC or whatever you could just pick up, you learn on your own. You know what I'm saying? Unless you got a mentor. Some people, they blessed to have a mentor. I didn't have one. I had to learn everything on my own from the ground up. So for me, I just say, if you can go on YouTube and learn things, cool. You can find a mentor, somebody teach you from scratch, cool, but just learn every day. Try to learn something. And over time, it's going to add up, just stick with it.
For sure, for sure. For all my artists, for all my future producers out there, y'all heard the man. If you need to know something, don't be afraid to use your apps. Use YouTube. Use these social medias. It's out here. The knowledge that you need is out here. You just got to be willing to look for it. It's definitely out here. And you got to be willing to want to learn it, too. Because once it's there, you got to be able to retain it, too, though. So I like that. So, like, okay. You've been making... So, is it just music production, or is it, like, making music also?
Well, I mean, it's kind of one and the same, but... like if you ask me, do I play instruments? Not really. I'll use the piano keys, that'll connect to the laptop, but I don't really play instruments. I just kind of like know the bass, like chords, and then I'll build around that, and the drums, everything whatever you can use on FL Studio, that's what I use,
That was my next question. What software do you be using? So you use FL. Yeah. So like, what makes you want to use FL compared to like another software like Fruity Loops or something like that?
Well, like I said, when I first started, it was because of Lex. And it was, like I said, he was like a year older than me. So when I did my research on him, you know, he had the little beat videos on YouTube where he would make beats, and I was just looking at the screen. I'm just trying to see what he used, and everybody was like, yeah, he used FL. So that's why I started using FL. It wasn't because you get the crack version, which is not, first you get the little free version, then you have to crack it. So yeah, that's why I started using it.
So like, okay, so me being an artist and stuff like that, I know when I go to the studio and when I vibe out and I want to work, it's a certain type of atmosphere that I need around me to actually get in my mode and really get creative and do my thing how I like to do it. So like when you make music and you make your beats and stuff like that, what's the vibe, what's the atmosphere that needs to be around you when you want to go to work and do your thing?
Man, it depends. Some days it could be like a party in there, everybody drinking, smoking. Then some days I'm just locked in, Every moment is a little different. So, but every time it's a vibe, you feel me? It has to be a vibe. But, some days you just got to focus in a little harder and just be you. So, and then some days, might be some girls in there, or it just might be, every day is a little different, but yeah.
So, man, you brought about some good music for us, man, to feature your work, man. And, man, excited about definitely sharing it with the people, man. One single is entitled Hercules. The other one is entitled Boring. Which one you want to play first?
You play Hercules first.
Hercules. So talk to us about Hercules, the artist that's involved with it, and what should we know about them?
Okay, well, the first record is I.L. Will, or Ill Will. He's from Chicago, the west side. I've been working with him for many years. The feature on there is Icewear Vezo. He's from Detroit, one of the biggest artists out there in Detroit. So, yeah, those two. Yeah.
And what should we know about this song, Hercules, man? Like, give us a little, I guess you could say, inspiration. If they were here, that they would say was the inspiration behind Hercules.
I don't know the inspiration behind it. I made the beat, but yeah, I don't really know the inspiration behind the song necessarily, but the beat, yeah, I was just trying to go hard, Every time I make a beat, I try to really focus on ear candy for the fans, When they listen, I want them to be like, man, I got to play that again, so.
All right, well, we got Ill Will, and then tell us who the feature artist is again.
Icewear Vezo.
I don't like that, man. And it's entitled, man, Hercules, man. We'll jump into it, come back, chop it up more with the homie Dave the King, man.
Big cold magnet.
To the pain, I'm missing. Hey, I'm so numb to the pain, I'm missing. I got blood on my shoes and residue up on my sleeves. Soon as I bust I'm begging for this to leave. The type to wipe up the nose, I'ma beat up when he sneeze. Had them killers at your dome, made me drop a couple G's. I pack smoking strong, Hercules. New, she just had that surgery. This rap don't work, then it's back to burglary. If a play with me, it's murder in the first degree. It's I yell, I get inside the spot and don't show no ID. What's that smell? Real flavors, I don't smoke no OG. And my gun needs some love, so I hug him and I squeeze. Once I bust my make sure you lock the door before you leave. He got his chain tucked, so why you wasting money on VVs? Throw your gang up, I'm in a K, I'm posted with some G's. Chain steady flipping like they own a trampoline. It's okay, cause only that I ever need was me. Blow your brain, I pray to God keep it in the street, cause the snitches say he gangster, but I think he the police. I hate a rat, and I with y'all the least. I'm so numb to the pain, I'm missing. I got blood on my shoes and residue up on my sleeves. Soon as I bust I'm begging for this to leave. The type to wipe a nose, I'ma beat up when he sneeze. Had them killers at your dome, made me drop a couple G's. I pack smoking strong, Hercules. New, she just had that surgery. This rap don't work, then it's back to burglaries.
Yeah, got it off the road and went and bust all my jewelry. Other than my Dre, don't give a about security, huh? ABY and Rose, that new Cardi cost me 20. This cat, we really thuggin', sliding ocean, make a movie. All that line in they raps, I swear these make believe. Yeah, that dog, he really strong. My around and take a three. Where my jewelry jury out in public, they won't take a chain from me. Papa Zanny, I be tweaking, told my baby pray for me. We really snatching niggas, so I keep that pipe lit all the time. Half a milli just in jury, I be icy all the time. Catch a nigga with that napkin, been and wipe them down. Take my shooters out of town. Who next? We
I'm so
got
numb
now.
to the pain, I miss that. I got blood on my shoes and residue up on my sleeves. Soon as I bust a nigga, I'm begging for this to leave. The type to wipe the nose, I'ma beat up when he sneeze. Had them killers at your dome, made me drop a couple G's. I pack smoking strong, Hercules, new. She just had that surgery. This rap don't work, then it's back to burglaries.
Got it from David and it go crazy.
So my boy Dave the King, man, that beat was knocking, man. I ain't gonna eat live, man.
Appreciate it.
And so, you know, those of you that's listening to The Fusion, y'all know that, man, I always look to the right of my co-host and ask him, man, what was he thinking when that song was playing?
Nah, whole time it's like, I ain't gonna say it like that, but like when I was younger, I used to listen to Ill Will. Like I can't remember what song it was. It was some song he had. I don't know if it was Mikey Dollars. I don't know what song it was. I forgot what it was, but so I was listening to him. I'm like, okay, he didn't switch up his flow a little bit. That's what I was really listening to. And then when Icewood came in, I'm like, okay, it coexists. Like it wasn't like, okay, one person was better than the other one. It's like it coexisted. So I'm like, okay, this is something I could listen to. It was a good song.
What song did you listen to back then with Will and Mikey? Cause I did a lot of it. I did a lot of that stuff coming up, like a lot.
It's been so long. This was like, I don't know, I think this was like 2014, 2015, like around that time. I can't even remember the name of the song off the top of my head right now.
Yeah.
But but it was slamming though. I'm gonna have to look on my YouTube. But for sure though. But Hercules though, I like that though. I like
Appreciate
that.
it.
So when did y'all put that up?
Well, Will made that song, I want to say maybe 3 years ago, 3-4 years ago, but they just shot the video. No, they shot the video too 3-4 years ago, but they just put it out, but the song been out. Yeah.
That's crazy though. It's like I was just telling the first guest, it's all about timing and when you doing certain stuff. You feel me?
Yeah, that's true.
So like with this specific song though, like how did this all come about though? Especially like even though like with the feature though, like how did that all come about? How did y'all put that together and like how did y'all end up making this hit together?
Well, like I said, me and Will, we've been working for a while, probably since 2013, 14, probably 2012. But so I was just sending him beats, and he's like, I'm gonna put Icewood on it. I didn't even know who he was at the time, to be honest with you. I'm like, Icewood, like, okay. He's like, yeah, he's from Detroit. I'm like, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? And then, yeah, so that's how that came about. I didn't know really too much about how they connected too much, but they connected online, I think. And then that's how that came about.
Oh, so you said they made this song like 3-4 years ago.
It was like maybe really probably 4 or 5. Now that I'm thinking about it,
4 or 5.
Yeah, 4 or 5 years. Yeah.
I don't think Icewood had no name like that back then. 4 or 5 years. He probably was still making music, but I don't think he was like in the category he in now. Like he been catapulted to a whole nother level. Whole nother level. So like, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. So like, you was in the studio when they recorded this song, or you just like made the beat and stuff like that?
Usually I'll be in the studio with Will, but see, I don't know where they were at the time when they recorded. So, no, I wasn't with them when they recorded at that time. But yeah, me and Will link up usually and record sometimes.
Okay. That's what I'm talking about, man. So like, outside of Will though, what's some other Chicago artists or just notable artists that you know that you didn't work with all throughout your career?
Chicago-wise, you got King Louis.
Definitely a Chicago legend right there.
Sasha Go Hard.
Definitely
Katie,
a Chicago legend.
Ide, Fredo, Santana.
Definitely Chicago legend.
Duck.
Definitely a Chicago legend.
Let's see. I don't want to forget anybody, but it's basically the whole city. I'm just missing like Keith, Dirk, and Herb. That's it. It's basically the whole city though.
I ain't gonna lie though. The names you named though was some names though.
Yeah.
Those was some names though. We ain't gonna just slide past the names like those were some slight names though. Those was some heavy hitters you named though. So like out of a couple of those names that you did name, like what was like as far as like the best experience you had as far as working with those artists, or like what was the best artist to really work with out of that group of artists from Chicago that you did work, that you have worked with so far?
It's probably either Sasha or Will, cause I got I'm cool with them. You know what I'm saying? They they got a kid together, so it's like when I come around,
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
You talking about them together?
yeah,
I didn't know that.
they together. So for me, when I come around, they treat me like family. You know, so yeah, it's like it's always we'll probably get a bottle or or we'll talk. You know, it ain't just about music. Sometimes we just be in there vibing and talking. So
It's bigger than rap.
yeah, it's bigger than rap.
Bigger than rap.
But
man.
outside of Chicago, of course, Vezo, Pee Wee Longway, OJ the Juice Man, Young Scooter, who else? DJ Drama. Yeah.
You know who Pee Wee Longway is? You do? I ain't gonna lie. I used to listen to Pee Wee Longway too. I ain't heard nothing lately though. I used to listen to him though. I used to listen to him though.
What was your favorite song?
I just want the money, baby. I just want the money. You know,
Yeah, that was the project I was on.
you was on that project?
See, look
Yeah,
at
Blue
that.
Eminem too, yeah.
Small world right here, man. This is WIIT 88.9 FM Chicago, broadcasting from the A Sydney Cat Studio. This is Fusion Radio with Brian Stinson and YTS Keys, man. Homie, man, Dave the King, man, music producer doing big things, man, in the building, man. So talk to me, man, about the qualities that you believe that are essential for a successful music producer, man.
Man, really hard work and staying down because things may not happen day one. You know, you got to really network and shake people's hands and don't stay too stagnant. You know, of course, work in your own city, but move around, you know, as much as you can. So hard work, staying down every day, trying to learn something. So that's basically just always trying to learn. I try to treat everything like basketball. Like you might have to shoot in the gym sometimes by yourself. It might not be somebody that'll rebound for you. You gotta get your own rebound, you know. So you gotta have that hard work and dedication. Cause nobody's gonna motivate you. You gotta motivate yourself. So it's really all about you at the end of the day.
I like how you said that though. Sometimes it ain't gonna be nobody in the gym with you to rebound. You gotta rebound yourself. I like that. That was low key kind of cold. That was the bar right there. That was the bar right there, low key. Oh, gee, that was the bar right there. Yeah. So like, my question is, okay, like it kind of piggyback off this question right here. It's like, okay, say for instance that you're a producer and like you really want to be a producer. This is what you want to do, but it's like you have so much personal stuff going on, and music is not really paying the bills right now. And you got so much other personal stuff that really needs your attention right now. But you want to do the music though. It's not like you don't want to do it, but you just have so much personal stuff going on that you need money for, that you need to focus on. And music ain't paying the bills right now. Right. What would you tell a producer like that in that type of situation as far as in their career right now?
Man, get a job or do what you gotta do. If you need the money like that, get a job. You gotta be able to eat at the end of the day. Unless somebody's really behind you and can support you, you gotta do what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have 2 jobs at one time before while making beats. You know, I might have missed out on opportunities, but I had, you know what I'm saying? I had 2 jobs. So, you know, if you need the money, definitely get you some money. But just don't forget, like, to go out there and work and shake hands. Like, don't forget that. Like, yeah, I'm tired, but I got to work, too. Now I got to make beats. Like, try to find a balance.
I like that. He said try to find a balance.
Because I couldn't find a balance. There were 2 jobs, I couldn't find a balance. It was a little tough.
Man, I like how you put that though.
Yeah,
I like how you put that.
I'm not against getting a job or getting money. You just gotta find a balance.
Cause I don't know why some people, like even certain artists, they feel like it's like, I don't know, they think it's like corny or like it just don't live up to the lifestyle or something. I don't know why like every artist feel like they gotta put on this front, or like just people that in the music industry in general, they gotta put on this front like everybody rich or something. Like everybody got it already. Like don't nobody want to be the broke starving or like broke artist or like producer that's trying to make it up. Everybody want to show or like be on social media and act like they got it. I don't know why it's like that though.
Yeah, I don't either, but you know, my thing is if you do have a lot going on with the music, like I will have a lot going on where I'm working like with 5 artists at one time. So for me, if you really in it and you got the right connections, I just say get your business together. You know, that's one of the things that I started learning the last 4 or 5 years. Is like really getting the business together, the business side. That's the most important thing you could do as a producer is know the business. If you don't know the business, then you're gonna be working them jobs forever. So you gotta really know the business. I'm still learning every day. I ain't perfect, but you gotta know the business.
Okay, so let's transition into that a little bit, like because I know, like, as far as like the music industry, it's not really that different from like being an artist and a producer, but it's in order for you to get paid off your beats, you still have to have certain things in
Right,
order to
right.
actually do that. So like, just get people a couple of gems or certain things they need to know as far as being a producer and stuff like that, trying to get paid off their work.
Well, first thing is try to work with established artists. See, when you first coming up, of course, you want to get a name, so you're just working with everybody and anybody. But after a while, you want to work with established artists, people that have situations going on that you know you can get paid from. If you're gonna work with somebody that just started off, of course, it's gonna be hard getting paid. They may not have everything together. They might not be signed. They might just be starting off. So you just gotta know what you're dealing with. But if you work with somebody that's established, signed to a label, the first thing is to get a lawyer because they're gonna send you paperwork. You gotta make sure what's in the paperwork you sign, and you gotta know what you're getting yourself into. You gotta be, of course, signed with BMI, ASCAP, so you get your royalties. Sound exchange. Make sure you get what is it called? A letter of direction from them, from the artist, so that you can get royalties on that end. And
What's the letter of direction?
letter of direction is basically like the artist or the label, they'll send. It's letting Sound Exchange know, hey, you know, this producer has or songwriter has some work done on this project or song. So we're telling you to give them this certain percent, whatever y'all agree on. Like it may be 2%, maybe 50, you know, whatever the percentage is. And it's basically just letting Sound Exchange know, hey, they deserve some percentages for this. So it's just a lot of things that people don't really know, but you just got to know the business. And there's a few other ways to get paid too, and of course getting paid up front. So
Which one do you like better? Do you like getting paid up front, or do you like collecting your money out the back end?
all of it. We ain't skipping steps. You know what I'm
For
saying?
sure.
Yeah.
So okay, so like, say for instance, you working with an artist, like, does it go like based off the relationship that you have with the artist, or is it like a flat certain type of rate that you have, or a certain type of percentage that you already have in mindset, like as far as that you want for your beats?
Yeah, so that's a good question. So basically, it is a relationship thing, but at the same time, you got to know what you're dealing with that artist. Like I said, if they're not signed, then you know the money may not be there, but you got to really believe in them if you want to take that route. And you know, there's nothing wrong with seeing what they can do, but at the same time, you know, if you're gonna take that route with all your artists, then just be prepared for that. You know, but like I said, it's just always best to just move around. Don't just stay in the same city or state, shake hands, and you never know. You might meet that big artist or meet somebody connected to that big artist, and then the next thing you know, you got a hit record or you on an album.
Man, 'cause it's like, see, one thing I try to do when I come to the show and I talk to different artists and producers and people that come to the show is like, I got my own record label and I'm working with different artists and different producers too though. So I try to get knowledge for the people that's listening, but I also try to get knowledge for myself and people that I'm working with too. You feel me? So I could try to incorporate that into my business and what I'm trying to do also. So that's cool though. You gave me a different perspective as far as looking at a producer. Because I got a friend that's a producer right now. That's why I asked you that question too though, as far as like a certain producer in a certain type of situation. Because lately I've been trying to figure out what could I do as a CEO of a label to really help him and get him and catapult him to a whole nother level. You feel me? Because I'm trying to get him to the point where he can get his name solidified in the city. Then we can start trying to branch out to different people in different states and stuff like that, try to get his beats out there.
Yeah, collabing helps too, you know. Like for example, when I first started, I met this producer named Chase, and he's from St. Louis, and you probably know him now is Chase the Money, but
I think I heard that before.
yeah,
That sounds familiar.
work with Belay, Migos, all of them. A lot of big artists. What's his name? He made that song Gucci. He's like white dude with dreads, young. I can't remember. He multi-platinum now. But Chase the Money, like I met him when he was like 14 years old, through just through connections though. So that's another way to collab, to get your name out as collabing, and then let the relationship grow. You never know. I just came back from LA from being out there with him. He had his own studio, nice studio too. So you never know.
That's what I'm talking about, man. That's what I'm talking about. So, just like in the city, well, I won't even say in the city. I won't even say in the city because I don't want to be too stuck on the city. But like, as far as like an artist that you haven't probably worked with, that you've been really down to work with, that you be like, man, if I could just send a beat pack to this specific person, or really just get my name out there and my beats to this specific person, who would you send a beat pack to?
There's two people, but one's still alive, one ain't. But not even just a beat pack, but I'd just be in the studio with him and work. One would be Michael Jackson for sure. Yeah, Mike, that was cold, man.
So you say Mike and who else?
I'm put two more, Beyonce and then Future. Yeah.
See, you kind of just, I ain't gonna say you messed my head up, but it's like, see, you kind of threw a curveball because you started off with like, well, how would you really, well, Mike, that's really, he like pop, you feel me? He like pop, but like, how would you really categorize Beyonce, like, as far as her music? Is she more pop or like R&B?
I don't know, bro. I think she just in her own lane. Like the last album, what was that, House? That was like a house album, right?
I think so.
Yeah,
I
that was like
believe
so. I do house music. Like I can do pop. I've done pop. I've done R&B. So it's like that's why I say if you work hard enough, you can do everything and be ready for whenever a situation may come your way.
So nowadays, like, what's the real, like, what's in this day and age, what's like a real definition of like a pop artist though, like in this day and age though?
I don't know. To me, it just seems like somebody that have like their own unique sound that has a certain tempo or bounce. Maybe like a Beyonce or Drake, where he do a different type of album. Like the last one, I think that was a house album he came out with last year, I believe.
Cause no, only reason I asked that because I'm sitting there thinking like, who would be a good example in this day and age to be like, okay, yeah, that's a pop artist. Like when like back then when you listen to Mike, you know that was pop music that he was making. Like I'm trying to think of an artist.
Probably like The Weeknd or something. I think probably The Weeknd.
Yes, that's a good example.
Rihanna.
Yeah. Some people like that. See, I can't think right now. My brain everywhere, but yeah, that's like The Weeknd. Somebody like The Weeknd, probably like what's bro name? Not Miguel. Bruno Mars, like something like
Bruno
like that.
Mars.
Yeah,
Sure,
like people like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Now it makes sense now. Okay. So like you say Mike though. You say Mike. If you was able to get in the studio and work with Mike, why Mike though? Like what do you think that you feel like? Well, we know what Mike brings to the table. But what do you feel like in some type of way you could bring out of Mike though, and like create something different though? Because I know like a lot of times like when I be working with producers, they be real focused on trying to come up with something new, not necessarily trying to do something that somebody else already did.
Well, Mike, man, he's just so cold to me. Like he would beatbox on the beat. You know what I'm saying? Like he would, you know what I'm saying? So to me, I feel like he just bring out the creative juices out of me, and then I just think after that it's just gonna be magic. To me, it's just dude was special as a performer, as an artist. Like he's just all around amazing entertainer. So
That's what I'm talking about, man. So then you switch it over to somebody like Future.
yeah.
Like, Future, that's a whole different, space of person, a whole different audience, a whole different state of mind as far as making music. So, like, being able to flip that coin, flip that switch, how you think, like, that transition to be different? Because even though, like, Future's different as far as, like, Mike, because he rapping and stuff like that, but Future isn't, like, the normal rapper either, though. So like, what do you think that Future will be able to bring out of you as far as a producer and be able to come up with some magic?
Well, from what I know, I actually got something to vault with him. So, yeah, I heard it too. So, for me, I think, like I said, I'll be ready for whatever. I got whatever he need, whatever vibe he need. He got the R&B vibe sometimes. Sometimes it's that hard trap. So, whatever he need. But I heard, he's definitely. I lived in Georgia for like the last 2 years, so I would go to his studio a lot. So, I definitely got exactly what he's looking for, and then we just bounce ideas off each other if need be.
For sure, man. That's what I'm talking about. My band Dave came in here, man. Dave the King. He dropped a lot of gems for y'all producers, y'all artists. So I hope y'all was paying attention and listening, because he said a lot of great things. Definitely said a lot of great things. But just before we get up out of here, man, I want you to do two things for me. I want you to first get people your social medias and stuff like that, so they can check in with you, different artists and stuff. They want to lock in with you, get some beats made, or y'all work and stuff like that. What could they just chop it up with you, and then, you feel me, y'all can make some magic?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at I am Dave the King, T-H-E, King, Dave the King. And then Facebook, you can find me at Dave the King. And then, if you want to listen to some beats and or actual songs, you can find my YouTube channel and SoundCloud. And then, I'm also on iTunes and all that, Spotify. So you can find me.
For sure.
Everywhere.
For sure. And last thing is, I just want to talk about this last song we got before we get up out of here. It's called Born.
Yeah.
But see, Born is with you and one of those Chicago legends we was talking about, Sasha Go Hard. So just talk about like a little bit about your relationship with her, and then just talk about like how y'all was able to come up with this song called Born.
Yeah, so we I don't know if you heard of Southside, the TV show.
I think so, yeah.
So me and her, we did the theme song, the intro for the show. Yeah, so it's a lot of situations like that. Like I was just on 2K with Louis, 2K23. So it's just a lot of, but anyway, me and Sasha, so I met her through Will, of course, and then I went over to their crib one day. I never met her before. I went over there to work with Will. I was like, is Sasha here? He's like, yeah, like, she wants some beats? He's like, I'm like, okay, whatever that means. So she comes out the room. I said, you need some beats? She's like, yeah. So we started working, and then like a week or two later, she was like, yeah, this TV show wants some music at this tempo. I'm like, okay. 5 months later, found out it was a theme song for a TV show. So that's how that came.
This specific song right here?
No, that's how we met. But then that was you asked about the relationship part. So as far as the song, me and her were just chopping it up. We were talking about doing a whole project together. So that was going to be the single over there, probably about 3 years ago. So this song about 3 years old. We still working on this project, but yeah, that's the single.
For sure, man. Thank you for coming in, and thank you for chopping it up with us and stuff like that, man. And definitely thank you for dropping all those gems for the artists and the people that was listening and stuff like that. But, we got a couple more interviews for y'all, man, that's tuned in with us, man. We doing our thing here at Fusion Radio, but we finna let y'all listen to this banger by Sasha Go Hard and Dave the King, man. We'll be right back on Fusion Radio with Brian Stinson and YTS Keys.
Dave the King.
Got it from David, and it go
I
crazy.
don't speak on, I don't feel like important. Not at all. Take your from you, then record him. I with them winners, we be scoring. It ain't no beef with us, so you just boring. I don't speak on, I don't feel like important. Take your from you, then record him. I with them winners, we be scoring. It ain't no beef with us, so you just boring. I like getting money. I like f***ing up a chick. He ain't with the send his ass to his neck. Sasha when you land her. I'm like, not yet. Never been shot at. Even doing from the projects. Good ass with a pretty face, and I got good on top of that. Ain't getting all from no free. No, wanna